Good evening. This is 5 Minutes with David, and wasn't quite sure what Jesus wanted me to talk about. What he finally gave to me was the topic of looking deeper. We do a lot of looking here at the center at desires, the desires that are buried in the subconscious mind, and domination is something that he's had me focusing on for a while now. There's no order of difficulty in miracles, that's for sure, but there is higher levels of attachment to some desires than others. And he has shown me how the desire for domination has been running my life since I was a little boy with my mom. And what's been coming up recently is seeing how it's playing out in different ways. Jesus, everybody knows, Jesus says that I'm never upset for the reason I think. Well, through my own experience and listening to my mighty companions share, it's easy to see how the ego hides so carefully what it wants to protect deep in the mind, and how I project out what the problem is onto the screen or onto somebody else. And it's been beautiful with Kay because she's so spot on point with Jesus, and helping and allowing him to come through and show me what the truth is. So just as an example, Friday night we had a bonfire, and Thursday I took my time to build everything up so it was ready to light. And as we were walking down there, we had four camping chairs, and there's 5 people. So I grabbed a patio chair as well. And when Kay came down, she says, "No, you are not to use that patio chair." And I said, "Why?" Well, she said, "Because it can break." And she just made it very clear, very stern. And it was coming from Jesus, no question, that I was not to use that chair. Thus, I did not have a chair to use. So that brought up rage. And immediately I was angry with Kay. I didn't want to look to see what was really going on. And then she looked at the wood that I built up for the fire and said, "That's not going to work. We need to rebuild it." And that's when the full outrage came on. I was just fuming, beside myself, and I didn't want to hear anything. And I took the wood and I just literally threw it out of the pit, and I said, "You build it." I didn't want to hear anything. She says, "Well, Jesus is guiding you to build it, through his guidance." And I just said, "No, you do it." And I walked away, and I was angry. So I didn't have a chair to sit in, and I just went over and stood by the fence and leaned up against it for, I don't know, an hour. And then I came back up to the house, and we looked at it the next day, which I was asking Jesus for miracles. Help me see this differently. Help me see what's really causing this. And I was surprised that the next morning I woke up and I wasn't nearly as upset, or I wasn't holding on to it like I had before. And we joined to look at it, and the ego was using rage to protect domination. So he's just saying it's so critical to be specific with him in the looking. He says in the Course, "Ask me which miracles to perform." And all that means is he knows exactly which one to pull out. It's like the game Jenga, where you pull out a piece of wood of the tower, see who can, pull out the most pieces before it falls. He knows exactly which desires to look at, which twitches to look at, where to go, where specifically what to do right now. And he says that consciously selected miracles can be misguided. So it's just been amazing to have the willingness, I'm humbled by it, to allow him to guide. And sometimes it's not looking, many times it's journaling. Okay, here's 3 or 4 questions to ask him, go journal on it. And then I come back and we go over the answers, Kay and I, and then he says, okay, there's more. And immediately I could feel the anger coming up. But every time I go and journal, he gives me more and more and more, and it's loosening everything up. And I feel the releasing, and I feel the lightening up from it. So, yeah, the ego definitely doesn't want to go any deeper. It doesn't want to look at all. But it's what's necessary for me and has been most helpful. He says it is the fastest way without question to release the pain, the twitches, the upsets, the desires. Go directly to the desires with me. And then follow me in everything else you do. And it's the fastest way out in this lifetime for sure. So, yeah, looking deeper. 5 minutes with David. Thank you.